All right, Congresswoman AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, sent shockwaves through the political establishment after a 2018 midterm victory, defeating Long Island long-term New York Congressman Joe Crowley. A lot of people thought he'd be the next speaker. Our next guest is a Bronx resident who says the one-time bartender inspired him to run against her for the 14th House District seat. Joining us now is high school government teacher and former Harbor Unit police officer, John Cummings. John, why are you in?
Oh, there's several reasons. One of the reasons I got in was at the prompting of my students. You know, for a long time, they asked me, Mr. Cummings, why don't you run? And my answer was always, I think it's impossible to defeat an incumbent who's so firmly entrenched like Congressman Crowley was. And the present Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez obviously ruined that excuse for me, as my students pointed out to me.
And plus being a Republican in that district.
Yeah, it's not easy. It's certainly going to be an uphill battle, but there's great organization. Mike Rendino has done a nice job up there organizing the Bronx GOP, and certainly Queens is 65% of the district, and they're well organized. And I think we can actually do this. I also think this transcends party. I think people were really interested in local representation, and that's something that we've seriously lacked in that district for a long time.
I know it took her a long time to open up an office in New York.
Yeah, and also, she's more than 25% into her term, and we haven't gotten a newsletter yet. So we really don't even know what exactly she's doing locally. We haven't had any word at all.
So you were a police officer in the district, you're a teacher in the district, you went to school in the district. And
I live in the district.
And you live in the district, so you actually understand the district. And you understand that Republicans have not gotten much of a foothold. You're the second Republican to jump in. What is your message?
I think that education is extremely important. I mean, that's one of the things that I'm going to focus on. Obviously, I've been a school teacher for 21 years. I think that's important. I also think that socialism, I despise socialism. I despise everything about it. When you look at what's going on economically right now, for many years, the Democrats have flirted with socialism, or like what I like to call it, the S word. And now they're almost knocking each other over to see who can grab the socialist ring first. And when you're doing so in a climate where the economy is really chugging along, I don't have to tell you, unemployment is low. Everything seems to be moving in the right direction. And now you're going to flip the script. I think it's outrageous. And I think people know that at the local level. They don't want to be taxed 50, 60, 70%.
So the AOC leads a charge to stop Amazon for opening up a plant because they would have gotten tax breaks to do that in Long Island City. How is that going to resonate? How did it resonate with your community? It
didn't go over well at all. As you can imagine, that was a lot of jobs, both Amazon-based, and it affected the surrounding community. I mean, all the small mom-and-pop businesses that could have popped up, service industry jobs. It wasn't just the 25,000 jobs in Amazon. It was the buzz economically that it would have created, and it's not there now.
What makes you think you can win as a Republican in a time in which there almost is no Republican presence in New York?
I think the whole idea that my message is I am you. I've lived and or worked in that district my entire life. I shop where the people shop. I live where they live. I eat where they eat. I know where the good restaurants are. I sit on the Cross Bronx like everybody else. And that message resonates. I think people are tired of being ignored in that district, and I think that I can lend real representation for the people in Queens and the Bronx.
All right, see if the Yankees can bring another championship, then I'll know you have some pull, and if you can get another lane on the Cross Bronx, I'll know you'll be the man for the job. John Cummings taking on AOC. John, good job.
Thanks for having me, Brian. Appreciate it.